already know what time it is, huh? Playing skills, you did.
Playing skills.
Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist, watch how I flip, watch how I whip, I'm in the whip, all on the wrist, I never switch, ice on the wrist, I get the money but I never switch. They saying you switch it, you won't get it. You know they came from the bottom and now we is lit. You was lit, I gotta get it, I gotta get it. You hating cause I told the wrist. My bitch, you wanna be famous, They act like they made us, You know I'm icy in Vegas, Just for them that hate us, I make a lot of new money, When it's not savers, you be liking my flavor, I think it's cause. Ice on the wrist, car on the wrist, all on the wrist. Watch out, I never switch, you never switch. I never switch, I never switch. Ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist, ice in the wrist,
All right, Coach, we are pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Indianapolis Colts and the Cleveland Browns. This fielded at the 2. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Nyheim Hines, his first carry. And that is the kind of tackling they want to see all game as he'll lose yardage to start things out. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 10-2 stuff. What we got? Hey, checkpoint. Recon, 132 fighter. He's ready.
Now it's Hines. It's a 7-yard pickup. They'll be looking now to 3rd and 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Bravo. Watch the run. Hey, Orbit.
Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Back to throw. They'll find Hines out of the backfield. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
They'll run it for the first time with Alvin Kamara. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Not much happening there on 1st down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now Watson. Dancing to his left. He may try and run for this. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. Running for it, here's Chubb. And he gets it to the 34, good enough for the first. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They'll try the air now with Watson. He'll let it go deep for Beckham. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
They run with Hines. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Let's go. Kill.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Back to throw here. Looking for Campbell downfield. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Hey, Steve 6. Steve 6. Mike 6. All day, punk. Hey, Delta. Hey, check Mike. Mike 6. We got to get the ball. D, get the ball right here. Let's go. Hit it.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part. It got them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football, and now zapped right back in the other direction. This is taken at the 23, and he'll be out right at the 35. 12 yards on the return that time, and the Browns will take over 1st and 10. And taking a gander at the NFL scoreboard in Minneapolis. Early on, it's the Vikings in the driver's seat. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. They start on the ground with Nick Chubb, and he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Watch one. Right 31. Let's go.
from the gun. It's a give to Chubb. And he'll get 2, maybe 3 up near the 37.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Throwing on third down, Watson. That is caught by the former Gator, Antonio Callaway. Well, that'll get them the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. On first down, Watson. Eluding the pressure right. Looking right sideline, that's complete. We're scoreless after 1. Now from Colts territory, here's a 1st and 10, down at the 33. A run for Nick Chubb. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. With that last effort, he topples the 5,000-yard mark for his career.
And that doesn't place you among the absolute greats that have ever played the game, but it's a significant achievement and a very, very solid career.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. On the carry, it's Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. They end up getting stuck twice after that 9-yard gain back on first down. So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 41-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good. And the Browns are out to a 3-0 lead. Been a bit of a dogfight thus far into the second quarter now, and we do have our first point, so field goal.
Yeah, a lot of people say, wow, first action on the scoreboard, about time. To me, the action's been right there on the field, trying to figure out who could gain an advantage, gain some field position, finally get points on the board. I'm loving this kind of game.
It feels like kickers might play a big role in this one.
Yes, make sure you give them the respect they deserve. They could cost you a game or win you one.
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on 3rd down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
You go tight. You draw closer. Go. On the ball. Now.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
Hey, wahoo!
They're going to look to throw. And almost picked off. I guess the good news for them now, it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Browns drive about to get started. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has really. And they come up here now, 1st down. They begin this drive with Chubb. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. From the gun, here's Watson. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. On third down, Watson. He can run for it, and he will. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a fourth down. The Browns send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And they'll let this one go right on the outskirts of the 10. They'll down it at the 11-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Look at me, zipper! Jump.
Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
2nd and 9 now. He's going to sling this deep downfield. It got his man complete. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31. Nothing conservative about that play call. You said earlier in the quarter you wanted to see them open things up, maybe take some shots downfield. There you go.
Yeah, and that one was successful. But even if they're not successful, when you take those shots downfield, they've got to back off a little bit, loosen up a little bit on defense, and give you a little bit more room if you want to run the football.
And the catch on 2nd down, but it didn't help at all. And now they're looking at 3rd down here. He'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard line. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. For the Browns, good starting field position as they have it 1st and 10 at the 40. Now it's Watson. Looking middle, and that's complete. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Watson now to throw. They'll buy some time right. And leap into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention, but sometimes the number just needs to be how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
Now! Hey, Echo! Who's that? Out. Let go.
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. He's going to look deep down the field. Oh, so close to an interception. Read that beautifully. Got his hands on it. Couldn't get it. And it's 2nd down. So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10. Once again from the 28.
Hey, check back.
2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Christian Wilkins coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
Hey, box truck. 6-6, pull it high. Shift. Shoot.
They'll drop the throw. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Browns signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. First kick, 47. This one looks good as well. And it's fielded at the 34. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Browns have a short field in front of them now as they take over 1st and 10.
Let's go, D. 24.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short game. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. The Browns send out their punter now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And great special teams work here. This is knocking on the door of the 5. They'll spot it at the 6-yard line. So we've reached halftime. All we have to show for the first half, a lone field goal. 3-0 our score. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. Fielded about a yard deep. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Cleveland offense ready to go. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
65. 25.
They go with Chubb on 2nd down. And tackled down after a gain of 3. Leaves him with 1 yard to go on 3rd down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
He'll have a first down past the 40 as he'll get this one up to the 44-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Watson on first down. And incomplete as he was knocked as he threw it, and it took the ball off course.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
Here's Kamara off the draw. And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Colts territory. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up.
Watch one. I got you, boy. I got you.
Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And he'll be brought down with the first down and a late flag here, too. And he may get a few more tacked on for good measure. Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now, it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run with Chubb. And he's going to bull his way down to about the 1-yard line. It's a good pickup of 7 yards, and now they're looking at 2nd and goal.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense gets a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
And he's got some space here. Touchdown, Indianapolis. That'll go down as a 99-yard kick return, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Such an electric play, so much fun to watch, and you need all 11 guys in sync for that to be successful, don't you?
Without a doubt. That's teamwork, to be able to put it all together. But that play is really probably the most exciting 10 seconds in football.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll let it go deep for Beckham. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 26. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
I got you. I got this.
Here's a handoff to Hines to begin the drive. 16 yards to pick up there. The Colts have a 1st down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that 1st half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Here's Hines.
I got you, boy.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Tough 1st half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. This is Hines. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. The Colts on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They run again on 1st down, Chubb. And he's taken down inside the 30. Big yardage there for the Browns, 18. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
Now a throw out to his fullback is complete.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down. On the ground, it's Chubb. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Chubb. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. Nick Chubb with his 2nd TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns. But the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Defensively, you said coming in earlier in the broadcast, the magic number was 20 points for you. That's what you thought they would have to hold this offense to or less than that. And, wow, they've done that in a big way, haven't they?
Not only have they done it, they put themselves in a great position to win this one because holding them down was paramount. If they could get it done, well, guess what? We see the end result. Right now, they have their eye on victory.
And leading here in the 4th. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
On 2nd down now, it's Hines, and he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by Denzel Ward. And a great return as they're finally able to take him down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So the Browns Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it first and goal in a game that appears to have... And he's in! Touchdown, Browns! Nick Chubb taking it in. And the Browns take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. The extra point up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10.
Hey, Alpha. Mike 6. Hey, D-line, let's get in there. Go.
Now back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And that is intercepted on the sideline. Wait, no. They'll say no. It was caught out of bounds. So this is just an incompletion here. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And he takes it all the way down to the 32. A big play there for Indy. 48 yards. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. That's complete to Hines out of the backfield. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll get it with just a shade under a minute to go in the game.
70 Indy. Mike 6. Mike 6. Hey, exit. Get it.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And it'll be intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Throwing now, Watson. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? It creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Flushed out right. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. So that changes things. Here's 1st and 10 all the way up at the 45. A give running right is Chubb. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. Off of play action, it's Watson. And they're going to get him. He's taken down for a sack back at the 47-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. Chubb, they're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half to put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half. They made the adjustments necessary, went away from that, and then they got it together, got a spark, and then took off. It's really nice to watch in the second half.
So for the Browns, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, they'll fall to 5-3 with a loss. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be...
Yeah, and it feel like